Alrighty, so Russell Brand went on Real Time with Bill Maher a couple days ago, and he went out there with John Keelman. He is a journalist from MSNBC, and they had a bit of a heated exchange, and the media is saying one thing about this exchange, and the clip, I think, says something completely different. The media story for this clip is that Russell Brand destroyed MSNBC, he destroyed the liberal media establishment, and he destroyed John Heelman in a scathing takedown of MSNBC here in this clip we're going to watch. I have seen the clip already. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to comment on it like I normally do, and then I'm going to discuss why the media is doing this weird reporting on it. Let's just watch. Keep in mind, this is comedian Russell Brand, comedian actor Russell Brand.
John, I've not known you long, but I love you already. But I have to say that it's disingenuous to claim that the biases that are exhibited on Fox News are any different from the biases exhibited on MSNBC. It's difficult to suggest that these corporations operate as anything other than mouthpieces for their affiliate owners in BlackRock and Vanguard. And unless we start to embrace, and also, mate, like just...
In a way, he's not wrong. I mean, all of the mainstream media is owned by people that have billions of dollars. They're owned by giant tech companies. In a way, he's not wrong, but to compare Fox News with MSNBC when it comes to having a bias, to say it's a false equivalency would be an understatement in my opinion. Fox News is literally embroiled in a lawsuit right now. They are in the middle of a billion-dollar lawsuit with Dominion, the people who make the voting machines that we all vote on, because they knowingly perpetuated a narrative of lies, literal lies, falsehoods about voting machines not working right and votes, literally the election being stolen. Dominion is suing Fox News because they knowingly lied on air about this stuff. They lied to their viewers. Rupert Murdoch came out a few days ago and was like, yeah, I knew it was untrue, but, you know, they did it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? They just straight up came out and said, yeah, we're corrupt. We're pieces of shit. So there's no comparison there. There's zero comparison. People here, MSNBC, yeah, it gets a really bad rap. A lot of people trash MSNBC. Tucker Carlson gets on there and trashes Joy Reid, Tiffany Cross, all of the MSNBC hosts. It's, again, there's not even a comparison there. It's not even comparable at all.
Spiritually,
period.
If I may use that word in your great country, we have to take responsibility for our own perspective. I've been on that MSNBC, mate. It was propagandist nutcrackery.
Yeah, it's propagandist nutcrackery. It's MSNBC that's propagandist. It's crazy, again, because, I've made videos on MSNBC hosts time and time again. You are never going to see Fox News host get a Republican politician on their show to do an interview and ask them anything of substance, any hard-hitting question. Matt Gaetz goes on Ari Melber's show, The Beat with Ari Melber. Ari Melber fucking destroys him, okay? You're never going to see something like that from Fox News. You're never going to see any type of genuine journalism from Rupert Murdoch-owned Fox News because it is propaganda. They admitted it's propaganda. They have routinely admitted it's propaganda. Fox News literally admitted to corroborating with Jared Kushner and Trump's team. This is all stuff that happened. They have openly come out and said, yeah, we have a bias and we're really corrupt. They have said it themselves. They openly acknowledge that they are propaganda. To say that MSNBC is propaganda when you're talking about Fox News being propaganda, again, it's not a false equivalency. MSNBC does not do that. They just don't do it. Are they the best news outlet? Probably not. No. I think that they have hosts that are pretty good. But again, they do not go on air every single day. Tucker Carlson this week every single episode of his show this week is all about the January 6th footage that was given to him by Republican Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy. You tell me how that's not propaganda. How is a Republican politician giving the biggest Republican media outlet footage that the public hasn't even seen, and he's going to tell the American public he's 41,000 hours of footage. But Tucker Carlson's he's gonna review all the footage and he's gonna tell us what really happened. He's not gonna let us see it, but he's gonna cherry pick and do whatever he wants. But that's not propaganda. It's MSNBC that's propaganda, and Russell Brand is gonna explain why in his signature Russell Brand way.
I went on a show called Morning Joe. It was absurd the way they carried on.
Good Morning Joe.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It wasn't morning. There was no one called Joe there. No one could concentrate. They didn't understand the basic tenets of journalism. No one was willing to stick up for genuine American heroes like Edward Snowden. No one was willing to talk about Julian Assange and what he's suffered trying to bring real journalism to the American people. And I think to sit within the castle of MSNBC throwing rocks at Fox News is ludicrous.
My friend,
Make MSNBC better. Make MSNBC great again.
My friend,
Again, he can say whatever he wants about MSNBC, being bad. Yes, again, these media companies, they are not going to let the political establishments that allow them to say whatever they want to the public and twist whatever story they want. They're not gonna allow these hosts to just go on there and say bad shit about certain groups of people, certain types of people. They're not gonna do that. But again, according to Russell Brand, MSNBC is not good because they refuse to talk about Julian Assange and Edward Snowden. I'm not sure on that one. I can't speak into that, but Russell Brand's criticism of MSNBC boils down to he went on Morning Joe with Joe Scarborough, and it was goofy, aha. It was goofy, funny. That's what he just said. He didn't even say why it was bad. He didn't give any reasoning. I mean, Russell Brand's a comedian, and if you look at this as just pure it's comedy, then it's fine. Yeah, it's great. But this is not a scathing takedown of MSNBC. This is not a destruction of the liberal mainstream media. This is just him telling shitty jokes that aren't funny. I went on a show called Morning Joe and there was no one there named Joe. You got him, dude. Yeah, MSNBC, they're terrible. Terrible journalism. There's so many things he could actually criticize MSNBC for, like Tiffany Cross. But he's not gonna talk about stuff like that. He's not gonna talk about stuff that MSNBC has actually done that you could criticize them for. Instead, he's gonna say that it's ridiculous that MSNBC would criticize a network like Fox News when Fox News literally just bullies the shit out of MSNBC and their hosts, and then they get fired because of it. But again. It's the MSNBC that does propaganda, not Fox News, according to Russell Brand. And this next part's my favorite part.
Russell, darling, the moment that you give me a specific example, an actual example.
Okay, I'll give you one.
Just wait.
And then John Hillman starts his sentence. He says, Russell, give me a specific example. He doesn't let John finish the sentence. And he says, I'll give you an example. Bitch, you don't even know what he's asking an example for. This is how much he doesn't know. He doesn't want to get asked a direct question because he knows if he gets asked a direct question and he can't answer it, he's going to look like an idiot who's full of shit, which he is. He doesn't know what he's talking about at all. And this video is evidence of this. He does not know what he's talking about. Period. He does not know. And that's why he doesn't want John Hillman to finish his question. He knows that if John Hillman asks him this question because he dug a hole for himself, he knows he won't be able to get out of it. I don't know if the people that reported on this clip even watched the fucking clip because it's so backwards what they say. It's so backwards what these people are saying about this.
We need a specific example.
Let me tell you what the specific I'd like to hear of. I'd like to hear a specific example, a provable specific example of an MSNBC correspondent or anchor being on television saying something they knew was false and we're saying behind the scenes to people, I'm about to go out and we know that the election wasn't stolen or something equivalent. But I will go out on television and say the opposite. I will lie.
And John makes a great point. It's ludicrousness. It's fucking bonkers, off the wall, crazy wacko for Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity to get on their shows, say the election is stolen, and then as soon as they're off the air, they're sitting there. Rudy Giuliani's fucking a fucking turd. He's fucking crazy. I can't believe people really believe this shit. Like, it's insane. It's insanity. Like, it's like a circus. It's literally a circus over there at Fox News. And John's 100% right about what he said. 100% right. They, again, knowingly lie, do straight up propaganda, and then turn around, and even they know they're doing propaganda. The text messages show it. John is 100% right. I'm not even familiar with John Hillman's work in the slightest, but he's 100% right here. He's 100% right about this.
That's my answer.
Just give me the specific example.
I understand the basic point.
Give me a specific example.
All right.
And before he gives you guys, I just want to give you guys a little final Jeopardy moment. What do you guys think Russell Brand's specific example is going to be? I'll give you guys 5 seconds. Okay, the 5 seconds is up. Here, we're going to listen to Russell Brand's specific example of MSNBC knowingly lying to their audience.
With you, I think it's a false equivalency, Russell.
It's not. That's your own biases.
It's not about bias. It's a false equivalency because you don't actually know anything about any of these organizations you're talking about.
Also, the best Bill Maher clips, quick interruption, the best Bill Maher clips are the ones where the guests don't let him talk and they just go at it. So
MSNBC ones. Big fucking deal.
My darling, it was more than enough.
You can't come up with
such a
you
carry-on.
don't have a single actual fact.
Do you want an example? Do you want an example?
Here's the example.
The ludicrous, outrageous criticisms of Joe Rogan around ivermectin, deliberately referring to it as a horse medicine when they know it's an effective medicine.
Yeah, that's not a bad example.
Maddow.
See, you heard what he said. He said the ludicrous, outrageous criticism of ivermectin and Joe Rogan. He says MSNBC calls it a horse medicine when they know it's an effective medicine in treating COVID. That's what he said, guys. If you're a returning viewer here, then you know. I've talked about this in my videos before. I know people personally that have went and got ivermectin to treat COVID, especially at the height of the pandemic. Ivermectin is not... it's not effective in treating COVID, period. Okay? And the people who made the drug, the pharmaceutical companies that nobody on either of the political aisle trusts, Democrats and Republicans, we all like to criticize Big Pharma. I understand it. I do too. I get it. Even the big pharmaceutical company who made the fucking drug. Okay, guys, I need y'all to understand this. The motherfuckers who made the drug came out and said, don't take it for COVID. They probably were saying this. They were probably saying this because, they don't want to get sued. But they literally have, this is their website. Merck is the people who make the drug. They're the pharmaceutical company. It literally says, no scientific basis for a potential therapeutic effect against COVID-19 for free clinical studies. No meaningful evidence for clinical activity or clinical efficacy in patients with COVID-19 disease, and a concerning lack of safety data in the majority of studies. It says it right there. They themselves even acknowledge that ivermectin is not effective in treating COVID. They themselves acknowledge this. Russell Brand is wrong about that. His one fact that he actually had wasn't even a fact because it's wrong. He lied. Again. Because it's Russell Brand that literally does propaganda. He has one of these weird life guru podcasts on YouTube where he tells you that if you meditate long enough and sit in a certain way and really feel your connection with the earth, then your life will get better. Just crazy pseudoscience shit.
Turning up on the TV saying if you take this vaccine, you're not going to get it when it hadn't been clinically trialed for transmission. You have
He's
to
lying.
listen.
It's just a lie.
You can improve.
He's just lying. Russell Brand is doing propaganda because he's lying. He's just lying. It's just all a lie.
Of America by determinedly and avowedly condemning Fox News without acknowledging that you're participating in the same game. Did you not just listen to Bernie Sanders, someone who plainly, legitimately believes in this country and believes it's possible to change, but is bound by corruption, is bound by the lobbying system?
And he's just going on a rant. It's completely. Bernie Sanders was on the panel before in this episode actually, but this is. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Period. He's gone completely off the rails. Now he's talking about Bernie Sanders. You guys can see the disconnect where John Hillman asked him for a specific example of an MSNBC host knowingly lying or a correspondent knowingly lying on air. He couldn't come up with one. He literally just didn't have one, period. And now he's on to something else completely different. And that's what people like Russell Brand do. And that's why a lot of people think they're really smart. They never really answer questions that they're asked directly, because if they do sit there and really try to focus and try to answer about something they don't know, people are going to realize they're full of shit. So he just has to keep talking. If he keeps talking, it doesn't really matter, because the person on the other side, they're not even going to get to say their piece. They're not even going to get to respond. And hence, the media reports and says, Russell Brand scathing take on MSNBC destroys the liberal media. When all he's doing is talking over.
Great pundits and experts and comic voices that systemic change is required. Money has to be taken out of politics. We need new political systems that genuinely represent ordinary Americans so that we can overcome cultural differences.
Like, what he's saying isn't like wrong, but he's not saying anything of substance. Russell, we all know that shit, dumbass. Everybody knows that. You're not saying anything we don't know. I'm going to boil down everything he said in the past 30 seconds. This country's shit, and we need to fix it. That's all he said. We know that. We know that our government's corrupt. We know that the country is shit, and we know that people fight about stupid shit all the time, and it needs to change. We know the two-party system is broken. This is not new information. This is not information that people don't already know. He's not saying anything of substance. This is nothing. Word salad. Zip. Nada.
And bickering about which propagandist network is the worst is not going to save a single American life, not improve the life of a single American child, not going to improve America's standing in the world, and the world needs a strong America. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. So you have an obligation, a duty, not to condemn these people.
So, that was the clip. You saw it. You guys can have your own opinion on it. I gave my coverage on it. I gave my take on it. Now for the media's coverage. This is gonna be short. There's not too many people that cover this. It's mainly Republicans. Sorry, if I can get my Twitter to work here. So that clip I was watching was actually posted by Benny Johnson, my favorite. Everybody loves Benny. Benny said Russell Brand ends the career of MSNBC host. This is as close to you can get to a murder on live TV, and I actually agree with that. But I thought that it was Russell Brand killing himself on live TV, because he just made himself sound so stupid and uneducated and ill-informed. It was bad, guys. It was terrible. And then you have Russell Brand rails against Rachel Maddow, MSNBC, and Fox News propaganda. Russell Brand calls out propagandist MSNBC on Bill Maher's podcast. Russell Brand searing rant about propagandist MSNBC goes viral. Russell Brand savaged MSNBC analyst John Hillman. He didn't savage him. He didn't take them down. He didn't destroy them. All he did was constantly interrupt and overtalk so John Hillman couldn't get his piece out. And again, it's a good tactic. If you're trying to do propaganda, it's perfect. It's a great thing to do. Just constantly speak. Don't let the other person say their piece. And you win. It's an automatic dub. You win. Especially if you're doing Republican propaganda specifically. But I think the piece of coverage, which is, I don't know if you can count it as coverage, I think that the biggest reaction that I have an issue with about this is Cenk Uyghur's take. I hope I pronounced that right. Cenk from the Young Turks said Russell Brand was right in his scathing takedown of MSNBC, though with bad examples. Steve Bannon was right in his scathing takedown of Fox News, though he's worse. The iron grip corporate media has on this country is loosening. A lot more people know now it's all theater. I don't completely disagree with this take. I 100% disagree with the first part. Russell Brand was right in his scathing takedown of MSNBC. Was he? Was he really? Because, again, he didn't really say anything that, he didn't say anything of substance. He didn't say anything that really made a whole lot of sense. I mean, some of the stuff he said was okay, but it was just really general. He was just saying we need to make shit better, and everyone knows that, everything's so corrupt. People are so corrupt now, and everyone knows about it, but no one's really doing anything about it. That's something that, again, I don't know. It's probably just me. It's probably just me that's bothered by this coverage of this clip. I mean, it's a 3-second clip. They were on the show for you know, a whole episode. Again, Bernie was there. I watched some of the parts with Bernie in it. Those parts were pretty good. You know, again, the one thing I can credit Bill Maher for is at least having an array of different guests on his panel. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys like the video, please hit that like button. It helps me out so much. If you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button and then press that little bell and turn on all notifications so you guys never miss an upload.